Everything your young speller wishes you knew. Spelling. 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 The process or activity of writing or naming the letters of a word. Spelling goes through phases of importance. At some points in time, it's seen as crucial to written language. At others, it is viewed as a secondary importance, and the content of the writing should be the focus. So, being somebody who struggles with spelling myself, I feel that spelling is crucial and should be a focus within our school classrooms and within the wider community. The rise of technology is often viewed to be making fundamental grammar and spelling knowledge redundant, as why should we waste classroom time on teaching children skills that can be replaced by things such as spell check? Just because something can be done in a different way doesn't mean that we should deprive children of orthographic knowledge for use in other areas, as I believe we are still a long way off having a solely digital world. So, why is spelling important? Why should we be focusing on this in and out of the classroom? Why should our children care about their spelling? There are many reasons as to why developing spelling is important for young literacy learners. Generally speaking, our society values correct spelling above all other writing conventions. As we know, though, the things that our society values is in a constant state of flux. So here are 4 reasons that show why spelling will always be important. Firstly, even one misspelled word can blur the message that an author is trying to convey. Poor spelling can also influence perceptions about a child's competence as a writer. Teachers tend to automatically give a lower grade to work that has spelling mistakes, even if the content is the same as another piece of writing. Thirdly, difficulties with spelling may interfere with the execution of the composition process during writing. Having to focus attention onto spelling can prevent the child from focusing on producing a coherent, competent piece of writing. Finally, it is vital to their educational self esteem. Difficulties mastering spelling skills may lead young children to avoid writing and develop a mindset that they cannot write. This would obviously have a negative impact on a child's future learning capacity and their future prospects. If we as people who have a keen interest in children's literacy can see the value of teaching young learners the fundamentals of spelling, maybe we have the ability to find a more comprehensive and successful way of teaching it. So, how do we develop spelling in the young child? How can we teach them to become better spellers? Is spelling something that is subconsciously learned? Traditionally, spelling is being taught in primary schools through the method of spelling lists, where children are given a list of 10 to 20 words that they have to learn and then are tested on those words at the end of the week. Often, children who have good memorization skills do well in these tests, but memorization is only a small part of the process. Children may be able to store this small number of words for a limited amount of time, but they have not successfully learnt them well enough to use them in their own writing. A Beckham Hungler and Williams study found that children who got words correct on a weekly spelling test then spelled the words wrong 50% of their time in their own writing. Studies have also shown that spelling lists of any kind are limited in their ability to take into account children's prior knowledge of words or anticipate the specific words that will be of greatest use to the children in their self selected writing. This suggests that having children explicitly memorize words doesn't always develop the required spelling knowledge or understanding to consistently get words right. I believe that the focus of spelling should be moved away from the traditional weekly spelling tests and reformed to focus on developing spelling strategies and equipping children with adequate orthographic, phonological, and morphological knowledge to confidently spell words. Our aim should be to educate children to a level where they are able to spell reasonably well words that they have never seen in written form before. It has been said that there are 2 areas of spelling instruction: lexical knowledge, memory of the spelling of specific words, and knowledge of spelling systems, an understanding of sound letter combinations, how to segment pronunciations into phonemes, spelling patterns, and rules. These make up the sources of information for spelling words. In saying that a systematic approach may be the most productive way in which to develop spelling skills in young learners, it also poses a challenge, as the English language and its intricacies are complicated, time consuming, and possibly never ending. Often focusing on words that children are already attempting within their writing can be a good place to start, as they can begin to understand language principles with words they already know, and then transfer that comprehension into more complex words, and then later transferring their orthographic skills they have gained to attempt words that are not known to the child. Helping children who seem to disengage with the spelling program is another challenge that can be really important. Finding ways in which each individual child learns best is also vital to ensure that each learner is as engaged and focused on the task at hand as possible. Not all children will engage with the same activities, so it's important that as teachers and parents we are flexible and try to find a way to develop spelling that works for both an individual child and a group within a classroom setting. The most important things that us as adults need to know about young spellers are that spelling tests do not develop the required spelling skills for most students, and spelling is not a self acquired or subconscious process for many young learners. And we need to help our children to understand that spelling is important for many reasons, yet spelling ability or lack of it does not necessarily correlate to intelligence.